Starting a Roth IRA can be a simple, safe first step to start building wealth, but there are limitations. You have to use post-tax money, but after that it's all tax-free. You pay no taxes on the growth of the money and no taxes on withdrawing it as long as you wait until you're 59 and a half years old. If you were to just put a bunch of money into the stock market, it would grow too, and you wouldn't have to wait until you were 59 to use the money, but you would be paying taxes on all the growth. Wouldn't be too bad in the short term, but if your balance is growing for 20 or 30 years, that tax load will add up to eat your growth. A Roth IRA grows tax-free. All that sounds great, but you have to start early. If you have a lump sum of money, let's say 20 grand, you can't just put all that money right into a Roth IRA and let it grow. There's limitations. We're limited to investing $6,000 per year into a Roth IRA. This is the maximum amount you can put into your Roth IRA. And so the maximum total amount you can contribute over your lifetime becomes less every year you are not contributing to it. So every year you don't put money into it, you're losing growth potential on $6,000. The younger you are, the bigger your Roth IRA can get. The older you are, the more limits you will run into. The money grows exponentially. So let's say two 59-year-olds have a Roth IRA each. Let's say person A had put $6,000 into their Roth IRA early when they were 16 years old and never put any other money into it. At an 8% annual return on average, person A would have $164,199 when they are 59 and a half years old. Let's say person B contributed $6,000 when they were 30 years old and did not contribute any more money after that. Person B would only have $55,903. You can see the huge benefits of starting early. So this money put in early is worth way more than any money put in later. If person A worked, let's say, a 10 to 12 hour job to make that initial $6,000, it's worth 27 times more when that person is 59 and a half years old after all that growth. So one could argue that person A at 16 years old didn't make $10 to $12 per hour. They made $270 to $324 per hour on average that year. This also highlights the importance of sacrificing early to hit big growth. And it also shows it's less important to max your IRA out later when your balance is huge and the returns are huge. If your goal is to have $1 million at 59 years old, you don't have to deposit monthly into your IRA until you have $1 million. If you start at the early age of 16 years old, may not be possible, but let's just say you were to, and you maxed your Roth IRA out for 10 years, then stop all contributions, you would reach $1,140,000 by the time you were 59 years old. Investing early can also help you retire earlier than 59 years old. If you max out your Roth IRA early, its returns could set you financially for life after 59 years old. So in order to retire early, you would only have to find income to last you until you were 59 years old. Let's tell a hypothetical story. Let's say a person has just turned 16 and landed an after-school and weekend job and is also working more hours in the summer. Let's say they're averaging 10 to 12 bucks an hour and they're working over the course of the entire year an average of 18 to 20 hours per week, making at least 500 bucks a month, making at least $6,000 a year. And let's say this person has an unnatural desire to become financially independent as fast as possible. And so she decides to max her Roth IRA out that year and for the next 9 years after that. With that plan, she has already covered her financial expenses for her life after she turns 59 years old. Now she only has to cover the years until then. Let's say she has an extremely supportive parents who decide to help her along the way. They give her an allowance for fun until she is 18 and assist with vehicle purchase and upkeep so she can save even more. They help with all of these, even though she is working so much, because they are so proud she is maxing her Roth IRA. Once she turns 18, she decides to not go to college. She has no idea what she wants her career to be because she's 18, And so she does not want to waste money on college credits and other expenses, and waste time not making money, and also going further into debt. Most 18-year-olds don't put their full effort into classes anyways. Some just blow them off completely. Wait until you are motivated and know what classes you want to take. Then you will put full effort into them, getting your money's worth. So back to our girl. Let's say she ups her work week to at least 40 hours per week when she's 18, and maybe even finds better paying jobs along the way, or maybe trade school or whatever. The point is she's making more money and can save more. Let's say her supportive parents allow her to stay at home rent-free and stay on their medical insurance until the max age you can be claimed as a dependent, 26. Most kids, college or not, can save a ton of money if this is available to them. So starting from 18, this gives her 8 years to save like crazy. Even though she will be making much more money than her peers, she should live like a broke college student going into debt. Eating ramen, wearing secondhand hoodies, beg, borrow, whatever you can to save money. Kids in college do this just fine while also going into debt for 4 to 8 years, so she will survive. She aims for saving 90 to 100% of her income. If she can make and save 30 grand per year, $6,000 to her Roth IRA, and $24,000 extra to a standard tax stock brokerage account like M1 Finance or similar, she would have around $260,000 in her portfolio at 26 years old, not counting her Roth IRA account. In contrast, I myself went to college for 7 years. At 26 years old, I was $90,000 in debt and had zero in a Roth IRA. Okay, now let's say it's time to move out of supportive parents' home because she's 26. Hopefully by now she is making around $40,000 per year or more with 10 years working experience under her belt. Now it's time to start living like a new college grad. Maybe you're not making as much as someone with a fancy degree, or maybe you're making more, who knows, but you have no debt and a huge portfolio. Stop contributions to your retirement accounts and get a cheap apartment, or maybe even buy a very cheap house, something way under your means if you can find it, and save as much of your income as you can until you have a 6-month emergency fund in cash. It's important. Once you have this emergency fund, you can spend the money you were saving for the emergency fund on whatever you want. Upgrade your car or wardrobe, save for a house down payment or whatever. Just don't dip into your stock portfolio at all yet. Live this way for as long as you can tolerate. Let's say you do that for 5 years. Now you're 31 years old and you have around $375,000 in your portfolio, not counting your Roth IRA account, because it was growing an average of 8% per year, even without you contributing to it. This $375,000 is what can allow you to coast to 59 if you wanted to. Here's how. Spending from a lump sum of money, which is also growing, will last a lot longer than spending from a lump sum of money, which is not growing. If you have $375,000 and you can live off $27,000 to $30,000 per year, uninvested, that money would last around 13 years. But if that money was growing at an average of 8% per year, which is possible in the stock market, while you were spending it at the rate of $2,300 per month, or about $27,600 per year, it would last for more than 30 years. That would tide you over until you reach the age of 59 and a half, and then you can start living the rest of your life off your $1 million Roth IRA account, which, by the way, would give you much more than $2,300 per month in returns. You may think $2,300 isn't enough to live happily off of, but that is not the point. The point is to be financially independent from any entity. As long as you can live within the means of your stock portfolio returns, you will be financially independent. You can do whatever else you want without stress. You can go to college. You can do jobs you actually like. If your mind changes or your boss becomes evil, you can just leave and be okay. If the government orders a lockdown to fight a virus, you can sit in your home for however long you want. You can pick up a random extra job for a month and use that entire month's extra income to go on a backpacking trip through whatever country you wanted. When your extra money runs out, just go back home. Your stock portfolio returns were taking care of your bills while you were gone. Even though you are retired, you could still work 40 hours a week if you wanted to up your lifestyle or buy a home or whatever. Or you can just invest time into yourself without worrying about a paycheck. Play music, work out, paint, make YouTube videos, whatever. That is the point. With good management and discipline, your stock portfolio can make all that happen. Of course, the whole stock market could fail and leave you with nothing. But if that happens, you would have bigger problems to worry about, like zombies or whatever other apocalyptic thing happened to cause the entire stock market to fail. If you want insurance against the apocalypse, then maybe use the extra money you made in your 30s to secure an underground bunker if you want to. This video leaves out a lot of scenarios, both good and bad scenarios that could happen. But this is not supposed to be a perfect foolproof plan that everyone should follow. This video is just having some fun with investment calculators, showing the benefits of starting early, and to inspire young people to start investing as early as possible. Do some research and start.